day.
Hello everybody, I'm Juby and welcome to part 13 of Final Fantasy XIII Randomizer. Let's get to it. Alright, so here we got foul liquid. I think that was the stuff that here's days. I'm gonna look into that before the Bartendulus fight. That way you guys know. Yeah, it's been a while since I played the original playthrough of this. So when I do it again, like sometime in the far future, I'll definitely know then. But we got a power glove. Yeah, be careful when you jump off there because of those bombs. Just, I forgot about that, and I should have just gone around to the stairs and then back down. Gone to the stairs and then down. So here, yeah, you can actually grab this right here. You don't have to go around and grab it. And that's a weapon for snow.
We're almost there, aren't we?
So I think we got one more of those box enemies coming up, but there is a way to get around them without having to fight them. Yeah, right here. Yeah, so I did run into them and I was having issues, so I backed out of it, and then I stuck to the left like that, and I was able to get around them like that. So yeah, I believe that always happens. You can just stick to the left and just be able to avoid them. I've done it at least twice, and it's worked both times. Yeah, I hate the hit bar for these switches, like examine and all that. You have to be at a certain distance in order for it to work. But after the cutscene, we're here in this new area now. I would probably just come back here later, unless if you focus on building up your characters, because these guys, there's like a ton of them at once, and they do a lot of damage to you. And then I think kind of like the box enemy from earlier, they'll summon more and more creatures out in the field. I don't know if you have to kill a particular, I think you do have to kill a particular one, but I forgot which one it was. Yeah, if you can just, if you want to avoid these enemies to come back later, then yeah. It is not too hard to get around a lot of these guys though. I got stuck pretty much over here. My only problem was I accidentally jumped backwards and ran into that fight, so be careful when jumping up. And I got lucky. But yeah, I think a lot of these enemies can be avoided. I know the ones further up. Yeah, that one I was going to go grab, but I really didn't want to fight those guys, so I decided just to wait on that. These enemies up here, if you kind of just stick to the right along the edge, you should be alright. And then the same thing up here, stick to the right and go around them, and you should be alright. Kind of go around in a circle like that, and they can be avoided. So I did do the Stone mission up here because it's one of those teleport ones, but that one's not too hard. I was gonna say that's the last Stone mission that I did, but it's not true because there are some in the tower too. However, those are forced. You have to do those. Saint's Amulet. I sold that. So yeah, that sea stone mission is coming right up here.
Look at that. There's something strange about that one.
But yeah, this was actually the last non-forced sea stone mission that I did. And that one that I had to abandon was the one with the where you unlock the area for the chocobos. That's the one I couldn't beat. These guys, I think if you kind of do like a zigzag around, you should be able to avoid them. But I think it's more RNG too, because no matter how you do it, sometimes you'll still be able to run into them. But they're not too hard. The bird kind of buff. Try, yeah, do some buffs, debuffs. Try disaster, aggression, and then yeah, try disaster and aggression. Same with these guys up here. You can use an invisibility shroud on them just to make it easier. But I'm gonna haste my party here. I got Hope doing some D spells, and then Saz, I believe, was the commando. His buffs weren't as good as they normally are, so that's why I didn't really use Saz the buff. But yeah, you do some D spells on them. Aggression, I was going to say try disaster, but they already got the stagger position, so I just went into aggression. But normally it's, yeah, it's the same thing, just try disaster, aggression, try disaster, and use August spells as much as possible, if you have any. Of course, lightning's launch. I love lightning's launch. I think this one I did 5-star, but I don't remember. Now we just gotta worry about trying to get him into a stagger. I think I was trying to debuff him, but it, oh, it did work, okay. And then I believe I was able to finish him off before the stagger ran out. Yeah, okay. But I was unlocking that stone in case I did come back here later to try to do the other sea stone missions. I don't think I ever used it though, so it was kind of pointless. And that's a weapon for Hope. So I had to go back and save, and I had to do a little bit of grinding and do some upgrading weapons because I wanted to make sure that I was set for the tower, because the tower can be, and gets Roga with some lightning. But I want to be set for the tower. So I did go back and save and do a little bit of grinding. Got Boon. There's Vengeance and Fire. Yeah, and then a Sentinel move for Lightning Dispel. She guys are her own Dispel. Poison Guff. We got a raise. We finally got a raise and an accessory slot. And then an ATB level. So Saz pretty much got a lot here. Aroga. Esna, finally got the Esna. And then Hope got his ATB level. Lightning's, I could not get hers because hers was locked under level 5 of the Criterion, and you can't unlock level 5 until the end of the game, until you beat the game. So I was not able to get her ATB level. Invade, that's a sentinel move. Blizzaga, he's got his own haste. So yeah, we made bank with a lot of these characters. And that's my setup there. But yeah, I had to do some grinding because I knew this tower was going to be a bit of a struggle, especially with some sea stone missions that we have to do. And I figured I'd get a little bit more experience. Yeah, now I'm back pretty much after that mission that we did earlier. Now we can make our way up to the tower.
Stay calm and do this.
They didn't drop anything. So the tower can be a little bit confusing, but it is pretty much straightforward, per se. I mean, I say confusing because you have to go down a level to go up a level, and then down a level to up a level, up a level. So that's why I said it could be just a little bit confusing. But if you keep looking at your map, it should tell you the next area that you need to go in, that you need to go to. Some components for upgrading. There are two treasure spears here. I had to turn away for a second, but I believe that's a play ring. Alright, so now we go up to the second tier. And once on the second tier here. Oh yeah, because I got that accessory slot for Saz. I decided to put it in Silver Bangle. At least give him a little bit more health. So yeah, up here in the second tier we got our first mission that we have to do. So here you want to try to get a preemptive strike, which use one of your like invisibility shrouds for this mission. You can do some debuffs and maybe haste the characters, especially. I think I did because now that Hope has got haste as well. But mainly you want to focus in Try Disaster. Even though I didn't use the invisibility shroud, I would use it just to make this a little bit faster. But I figured since, you know, that I did that grinding earlier, it was a little bit helpful. And I figured I didn't need it. So yeah, you can throw in some debuffs on him. But mainly focus on getting his stagger all the way up. And then going into aggression and then trying to do as much damage to him as possible. Or if you use the shroud, then you can just go into aggression. Aggression also will help out too because you won't have to switch forms and the enemy will get into stagger because of the Ravager that you have out there. Ah, so I was able to get poisoned. Poison will help out too, it really will, because when you're doing damage to them, the poison will kick in and do damage to them as well. I don't think I was able to finish them off before the stagger. No, I think I had to do it one more time. Yeah. I don't even think I had to. No, I didn't even have to use aggression to finish him off. I was able to finish him off and try disaster because of the magic being so OP. Survivalist catalog. You can put that on. It'll increase, like with what we got before. You can put that on. It'll increase the drop rate of enemies dropping items. So I did kind of switch it up a little bit here because here, that box enemy I was talking about earlier, we're gonna have to fight another one of those coming up here. So it's the same thing, except this one I would use an invisibility shroud for sure. I don't remember if I did or not, but I would definitely use it just to make it a little bit faster. And then you could probably use the any shrouds. See, that's what I was checking to see if I had any shrouds I could use. So I had to do it normal. Now with the tried and true, if you do have a lot of struggle or whatever, then summon your Eidolon. But mainly you want to focus the enemy on the center there. Like before.
Say goodbye.
Try to get some spells or some debuffs on him. And I kind of focused on him not meaning to, it just kind of went to him. But then I turned my focus on him.
You asked for it.
And just make sure your party's healed enough. Yeah, that's what I was talking about with the August builds. I was able to get a lot of them in. I think he was getting ready to summon too, summon more of his guys onto the field.
Wide open.
Yeah, and I think I was able to get rid of him quick before he did. He sure did stay airborne for a very long time now.
Deal with this.
Yeah, when he was airborne for that long, I thought I'd actually killed him. But in reality, he was just stuck up there. Yeah, that was one of the ones I wasn't able to 5-star. Battle standard. I think that was a weapon for snow. If I remember correctly. Oh yeah, I thought I was hearing a treasure spear around here. There are treasure spears around here, but you will not be able to get to a lot of them until you open up a lot of these areas. So this one here, he's kind of the same as the rest of them. Don't worry about doing debuffs to him unless if you get a preemptive strike. You have to wait until he's in the stagger mode to really do a lot of good debuffs on him. Like I said, debuffs will work if he's not in a stagger mode, but they're kind of hard to put onto him. Really, with a lot of these enemies, getting into a stagger first before putting on debuffs does work out a lot better too. I think that does increase the chances of debuffs working. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, there's something that he's not taking damage from until he's going to be put to stagger. I think it's a magic spell. It's one of the augurs that's doing that. Yeah, it wasn't ballistic though.
Wide open.
But I was able to get some more debuffs on them. So yeah, if you get a preemptive on them, just start off with try disaster. You can quickly switch to use haste on characters, on the characters, and then switch to aggression, or do some debuffs on them. Use Saboteur to do some debuffs on them, and then quickly switch back to aggression, and then you should be able to finish them off. If not, then aggression to try disaster back to aggression. So I think that was the treasure spear that I was hearing earlier. And we got 87 gil with that.
I'll be waiting here.
And I think that originally was supposed to be someone's weapon. I think it was a weapon for Snow. I'm not 100% sure. And so I was just making sure there was nothing around here. You do kind of gotta check every corner just to make sure there aren't no treasure spears around. So we've opened up a tier floor there. And we got some more components. And then now we should be able to go up to the 4th floor.
Take a look ahead.
Now I think coming up here, this is where you're gonna have to go back down, then go back up. Yep, I believe this is it right here. That's why I said it can be a little bit confusing. Guardian's Amulet, which I sold. Okay, no, it does take you back up to the 5th floor. Okay. Or it takes you up to the 5th floor. But there is one where you have to go back and forth and all that. That's a weapon for Snow. So this mark is actually going to be right behind us. And it's a couple of those dancers, those dancing birds, with another enemy. And originally they dropped like moon blood seeds. They dropped some kind of seeds. And this is actually a good place to grind in like the original version of this game.
Change of
You
plan.
just go restart the mission, fight the enemies, get the seeds, and then restart the
Stay
mission.
down. Keep the enemy off balance.
But yeah, just basically stick with try disaster,
Change of plan.
saboteurs.
Deal with this.
I could use G-Spell on this guy if I wanted to, but I was just letting it take on its own, so I didn't really worry about it, besides he was supposed to get anyway. Yeah, so you can buff your characters and then use some debuffing on enemies, and then try disaster, aggression, try disaster. Basically how it is for a lot of these fights.
Just another battle.
And I don't remember if I 5-starred this, and I did. Okay. Yes, normally they would drop seeds, but we got the Warrior's wristband. So yeah, this is where we gotta go back down to the 4th floor. Yeah, so I knew this was the area. Okay, so yeah, you have to go up to the 5th floor, back down to the 4th floor, and then go past this area right up here. And I think it takes you back to the 5th floor. Yeah, it's not here, it's actually further up. $1,600 and yeah, we got the gill. No, okay, we go up to the 6th floor. So it's basically 4th floor,
Can you come here?
5th floor, 4th floor, and then 6th floor. And then we got this mission right here. So this guy, so what you gotta do is you can start off with aggression to get the gauge up a little bit. And then go into Try Disaster. He will not take any damage, and I don't think these spells really work on him. But he really will not take damage until you get him into a stagger. You have to get him into a stagger. But we gotta activate this first before we can even fight him. I was trying to see if there was a treasure spear over there. That's to increase
You say we
health.
go this way.
Black belt, I sold that. Yeah, so here, like I said, until he's in a stagger, you won't be able to do damage to him. If you do any damage to him, it won't be much. Yeah, see, block, block, block.
Cool head.
And then you gotta get him into a stagger. And once you get him into a stagger, then you can focus on doing like debuffs and stuff on him.
Out of my way!
I made sure I do some impels there, because impels will help out a lot with doing a lot of damage.
New strategy.
And it's just the same routine. So yeah, he kind of took out our magic too. Lightning can't use any magic really. That's what that symbol is right next to lightning. I think it was healing I couldn't use. It was like something, yeah, I believe it was healing I couldn't use. I'm not sure, other than Esna, I'm not sure what other item would help get rid of that. But it's alright, because I was able to at least get him back into a stagger and try to do some damage to him. Also, when his stagger gets about close to running out, he does actually put his barrier, as you see there. It's not even out, and he's still able to put his barrier back up, which is kind of stupid. I'm not sure why that is. But at that point, you can try to do more damage to him, or just go into a healing, or buff, or whatever. But you gotta wait for the stagger to run out before you can put him into a stagger again. Did I fight? I did, okay. See, like I said, these missions, I sold that. These missions are forced missions in the tower. So I didn't really have a choice to do that. And it's gonna be the same thing when I do the Sea Stone missions. In order to unlock a lot of these Sea Stones, you gotta beat the game. So I was kind of forced to do them. Yeah, I wanted to see what Speed Slash does, which it restores a small amount of ATB. I was curious about it because I thought I knew what it did, but I wanted to make sure, so I went in and checked to see what it would do. That was at the time I didn't know that, but now that I'm grinding for the Sea Stones, I was actually using that to help with my ATB. Because I upgraded to like an energy and it actually restores TB. Him, that guy, the enemy over there, do not fight him, because I guarantee you will probably die with him. He's actually pretty OP at this point. That's why I did not even dare to fight him. Yeah, I was just double checking to make sure where the mission was. So these guys, I would just stick with Try Disaster. You don't have to worry about using haste or anything. Just stick with Try Disaster and Aggression. More Try Disaster really because of the Yaga spells. Even though I did stick with haste here, it's probably just easier just pretty much stick with Try Disaster. I mean, you could try to throw some debuffs on them, but I don't think they were working anyway. That's why I was trying it out.
How about some of this?
I want to see it at least get something, but August spells probably work the best on these guys. You see, he's knocking to a stagger. And you probably use the August spells to get rid of them. But aggression might be better, I'm not sure. So either or. Plus we got Hope using his August spells. That's why I kind of stuck with aggression instead of Sivirus, because of Hope and his spells. And we got a Platinum Bangle, which will increase health. I thought I got past him and then he ran into me. Wicked Fang there. So yeah, you had to go up for the mark up there and then you have to come back down in order to go to the Stone Guard to unlock that path. But we should be almost done with the tower anyways.
Let's go.
And then we
Gotta get
unlock
left
that.
behind.
Yeah, I thought There was a treasure spear over here, but I'd already gotten it. That's why I went that way. Yeah, so now, that's what I was talking about. You have to go back down to the 4th floor. See, it was even confusing to explain a little bit. Because you do have to go back and forth a few times. So now we can take this up to the 6th floor. And this is the final floor before Apex. So these enemies, because there's 3 of those sea enemies, just kind of stick with try disaster or aggression, try disaster, buff your enemy or buff your characters, try to debuff them. If you have to, use a summon, but if you have to use an Eidolon, then go and grind a little bit to get your TP back up to 3 in case you might need it for the boss up here. You got Death Blow there, Kira there, Evade, Blizziga, Vendetta, Waterga, an accessory slot too, Faga, and then I put on Gold Mangle for Hope. So that was part 13 of Final Fantasy XIII Randomizer. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.